All right, here we go for our first video for this class. I've already done one for my calculus class, but here we are on this first example here. Remember, we're working on this teaching sequence for the identity a plus b quantity squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And we're starting with something that is concrete, where we have specific numbers that we can use. And here we're using a square, and we're using the fact that for the area of a square, we can multiply the two sides in order to get the total area. So on our picture here, we need to label some things, and our goal with this teaching sequence is to be able to identify the various parts that go into the identity. So first, I'm going to label this side. That is 10, and this length is 10. This length is 7, because we have 10 plus 7, and this length is also 7. So now we're going to look at these individual rectangles and squares that we get inside the larger square. So for the larger square, we know we have 10 plus 7 times 10 plus 7 for the total area. So that's everything. But if we subdivide here, then this smaller square, we're going to have 10 times 10, so that's going to be 10 squared, right? Which we also know is 100. For this rectangle on the side, we're going to have 7 times 10, so that area is 7 times 10, which we know is 70. If we look at the green rectangle up at the top, and notice that these are exactly the same size, just a different orientation, we have 7 times 10, or 10 times 7. So we'll label that. Which again, we know is 70. And then lastly, that leaves us the blue square. And this is a square, not just a rectangle, because we have 7 times 7. So that is 7 squared, which is 49. So if we look at the way we have subdivided the big square, it shows us that the area of the big square is equal to the area of those 4 subdivided regions. So that's going to be 10 squared plus 2 times 7 times 10 from our green rectangles plus 7 squared. And although we know what the values are for these numbers, that's not really the point in the teaching sequence here. We're trying to identify the various parts of the identity. So we have our 10 squared plus 2 times 7 times 10 plus 7 squared.